Okay, cool. Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of our unfolding series, and today we're going to talk about relationship because some of you commented कि relationship के बारे में बात करो. So yeah, we just sat down to talk about it.
Yeah,
Sounds good? Did
sounds good.
I do good?
Yes, you did
Yes,
good.
I gave good intro.
So, what is a relationship, Juju?
So we are husband and wife, that is our relationship. So what are we going to talk about? You tell me. Give me some spicy questions. What do you think you want to talk about?
I think लोग ये पूछते हैं ना, like the normal question which people generally ask, what is love?
What is love? That is what
Yeah.
people ask.
As in not people, as in.
Huh.
At least I used to wonder.
Like generic question.
Generic question, na?
Okay, what is love? Oh my god. Are we gonna go there?
But a relationship is linked to that only, na, in a way. Like, our relationship is based out of love only, right? So, then the next question will be, what is love then? If relationship is love, then what is love? Or if you don't call it love, then what is relationship? Like, the point is ki what is this?
So
Right, that is the question na, at the end.
Okay, let's break the ice from this. Okay. So tell me 5 things you like about me.
Okay.
And you think that is what is keeping you in this relationship.
I don't know if there are 5 things, by the way. Maybe there are not that many number of things. Why did you assume that there are 5 things at least?
I assume there
Why
will be
did you
more than
assume?
5 things.
Why did you assume?
And out of that, you will say 5 things. Out of 100 things, you will say 5 things, is what
So
I assume.
you assumed. That means somewhere you think that.
I'm so great. I am so awesome that I thought at least there will be like more than 5.
Let me think.
Okay, maximum 5.
जो भी है.
Maximum 5. Limit तेरा 5 है.
Maximum मेरा 2 ही हो तो.
मतलब 5 तक तू बोल सकता है.
अच्छा.
कम भी बोल सकता है.
Okay. Let me think, obviously. So one of the things I would definitely say, your liveliness. खुश होना चाहती है. कैमरे में तारीफ सुननी है इसको बेसिकली, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Okay, so I think your liveliness जो मुझे काफी पसंद है.
Okay.
I like क्या हुआ? हंस क्यों रही है?
I was thinking, I'm simultaneously thinking कि what will I answer? Okay, come on. Second.
I think liveliness तो एक है ही.
Okay.
And I would say that your getting happiness from small things, वो मेरे को काफी पसंद आया था. Like obviously it's like one of the reasons where I've started liking, and then I wanted to see her more and more. Like, so वही तो at the end currently भी है ना, तभी तो like I'm saying with that perspective. Like obviously there are.
I'm just pulling your leg. Okay, number 2 is that. Okay.
So just giving a context, like small things, मतलब कुछ भी small things हो सकता है, like very small things से like she'll be happy, like जैसे it feels कि like ऐसा क्या हो गया कि like she's feeling so happy about it, and that basically is a great thing about her. ठीक है. Then definitely I would say patience.
I have patience.
You have patience for me, I would say. She generally don't have patience, by the way.
Now he wins. That's what I was thinking. I have patience? ? Question mark, question mark, question mark. This guy sees something which I don't see in myself.
But you're very patient when it comes to me. That I've observed. Like,
okay.
So you hear me out, you listen, you try to understand me, you know. You're there.
But in general, I'm very impatient.
In general, apart from...
I have zero calm.
वो तो है. Zero calm. Then, I think another thing I love about that, you don't give up. In general, this is applied for me also and for in general in life also. You don't like give up, you know. You are like, I think I don't know about the worldly things definitely. I would rather say what matters to me, like 5 things to me. At the end, I'm saying about that is key. For me, you have shown that many times that you don't give up. So that is another thing which I love. Then there are so many things. Now I'm able to think so many things right now.
That's why I was telling. Tell only 5.
अभी कितना हो गया है?
4.
4 हो गया है? Oh, I think so. Then I think another thing which is what we are doing right now. I love this part that we are doing things together. Whether it's making this video, whether we are dancing together, whether we are traveling together. So there are so many things which we are doing, experiencing life together. So I really love that about you, that you are vibing with me in many things in life. So that is very great because you are experiencing like what I want to experience. You also want to experience. It's not like I'm asking you to experience that, but you also want to experience that thing and do that thing, which is a fun thing to do in life together. So that is amazing. So I think this is nice 5 things.
Good answer, yeah.
Your turn.
No, I don't think we can ask same questions.
Yes, I know. You have to answer, give at least one if you can't think of 5.
You're asking same question to me. Very boring. Boring.
नहीं अब तो चाहिए मुझे.
Okay, let me answer. What do I like in you? What do I like in you that has been like that has kept me in this relationship so nicely?
So nicely.
Firmly. Okay.
Tick tick 1. Tick tick 2.
Don't pressurize me. Don't pressurize me. So let me think.
See, she cannot even think.
No, you also took time to. You told all the good answers. Now I can't even repeat those answers.
No, but why can't you? Why can't you? Like you can say, na. If you really feel the same thing, then say it.
Okay.
Why not? But if you want to go out of the box and tell new 5 things, that is also fine. And I'm not putting any limit. Ki 5 ही बोलना है. You can say 100.
Okay, fine. You're quite different than me. That is something which I thought was very interesting to me. You're quite, like you said, I was lively, right? You were like completely opposite to that. You're like completely opposite to that. You're like so sadhu when I met you. So I had this thing that, I need to make this person, I need to give this person a life. Make him laugh, make him enjoy life. Just kidding. So I think what I like about you is you have very giving heart. That's what I can say. Yeah, you have a giving heart. You're like very dildar. That's the word, right? Dildar.
That's the right word.
You're very dildar and very, you don't hold back in while giving people, like beat anybody, like in terms of anything. So you have a very big heart, or giving heart is what I think. That's something which I like, which I think I lack also. I don't know, for some reason, right? I feel like I appreciate that.
Okay. Okay, fine.
It's expecting more.
More, obviously.
And no, my question is, why do you need more things to be like? Like sometimes I can't even explain that. Why am I in love with you? There is no explanation to that, right?
I totally get it. I totally get it.
It's just being in. Like, can you answer why are you alive? No, right? That's because you're eating. All these basic answers only.
Basic answer.
How I'm breathing, I'm eating. That's why I'm alive. Like, I don't have like certain answer for like why am I, what is keeping me in this relationship.
You just feel.
I just feel that it's right. There is no logical explanation to that. I just feel it's going right and it is being right to me.
So love is essentially then feeling then, right?
Yeah.
So the video is over then. Relationship is love, and love is a feeling. You will get it when you get it.
No, I think we should really talk about love is there, but being in relationship and not giving up on each other is also hard.
Obviously.
Being two individuals who have different backgrounds and different path, like journey of life, and yeah, like, and being together, and we've been together since 7 years, and we had our own.
I don't think it would be audible here.
Okay.
So
This is too loud for me to talk also.
Anyway.
So I was just saying ki, yeah, like two people being in relationship, like with different backgrounds and different journey in their life. So being together at same house, married, being in a relationship, uske baad marriage, and not giving up on each other is also tough. It's a work.
Obviously, it's a lot of work.
I wouldn't say tough. It's a work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
So I think we should talk in terms of that also.
Okay.
Like, definitely we are together because we love each other, and I don't think there is a, like, have you heard any specific definition to love apart from it's just a feeling and you just feel it? Like, I don't know the definition of
there
love.
are different, I mean,
ways
when you see videos,
express it.
there are different ways people express ना. Like कुछ लोग बोलते हैं love is not giving up.
हाँ, तो there
Like,
is
for
different
example,
ways of expressing it, but
correct.
what is it तो अलग हो गया ना. It's a way of getting it out.
तो anything which you explain what is, that is the way of expressing it only, no? That's what we are trying to do right now.
What is anger?
Now if you have to define that, like
जाके दो थप्पड़ मारो, hey, this is anger.
This is anger, exactly. So you're defining it in a way, explaining it. कि मन करे कि मूड चपट चपट इसको, कि that is anger in a way, right? कि चीजें फोड़ने का मन, that is anger maybe some. Like you'll try to define in a certain way what is anger. At the end, it's a feeling, although same way love is a feeling, but you're trying to explain it in a manner, right? Like, so ऐसा तो हो ही सकता है ना, people don't understand at a certain point what is that feeling.
So you're saying
now that you
there
know
might
that
be
feeling,
a problem there. So you are telling this problem exists, that people are in love but they don't know it is love. ये problem हो सकता है लोगों को.
इसको problem नहीं बोलूँगा मैं.
Situation. Can people get into this kind of situation if they are in love and they don't recognize?
हाँ, मतलब ऐसा तो ही सुनने की that term at the end people give terms to a feeling ना. So someone might be feeling that love and just living with that, but he's just not, or she has just not given a term to that feeling, and that person is just living that life. Like at the end, what are words and language? You just try to explain things na, what you are feeling and you are trying to express. At the end, that is all what language is all about, right? So love मतलब इसलिए मैं बोलूँगा it's not a problem right, someone might be experiencing love but might not really give that name to it and probably don't have not really pondered over कि भाई what is that feeling it is actually. So what we are trying to do here is like talking about relationship, like which is based out of love, right? So we are trying to talk about like what makes, I think we should talk in those terms, right? What make us at the end, like what you said, stay together at the end, right? Because like like we fight obviously, and there are a lot of things many a times we don't like about each other, but we are still together. So there are things which are more important than that. If you think there is like you're weighing things down, then right, that is what relationship is, right? There are good things, there are bad things, but basically what we are seeing is that the good things are far more good than these bad things, which makes us find this is a nice balance, and we want to be in that. For someone maybe this bad might be this and this good might be this. I mean it's a good and bad is again subjective, by the way. We might say it is good and bad, but in that person perspective that not be really bad, because that person doesn't see that as bad, right? So that is also very relative, the good and bad thing. But
like if we are in what you're trying to say is like when, so let's say I see certain good things according to me from my eyes. What I think is good is something like, let's say there are 10 good things in you, and there are like, let's say for now there are like 2 bad things in you. So I weigh down those bad things and see, okay, कि ज़्यादा तो good things है ना.
मे बी यू सी दैट. मैं तो ऐसे देखता हूँ कि मतलब मैं तो ऐसे सोचता हूँ कि यार बैड तो हर जगह हो गए ना. देयर विल बी ऑलवेज लाइक एट द एंड देयर आर टू डिफरेंट पीपल ना. लाइक यू वी फील मोर एंड मोर कनेक्टेड इन जनरल विद टाइम, मुझे ये भी लगता है. बट एट द सेम टाइम you are two souls and two different bodies, right? So there will be your own thought process of your own, there will be our thought process on our own, right? And because of that there will be things which you might want to do, there will be things which I want to do, right? But I think but I think lately वो तो नहीं भी हो रहा है. I think again मैं वो भी सोचूं.
So let's talk from the beginning.
What I'm saying कि lately वो भी नहीं होता ना. I think वो भी I don't see that also a problem right now, because I see कि nowadays तो I see things कि यार मतलब I don't see any problem right now in you.
Okay, so you've stopped seeing the bad things also.
I don't see it right now. Achha. Nowadays I would say. So you want to start from the beginning, then maybe we can come.
Yeah, I think we can talk about our journey,
like how it is evolving,
how have we evolved in this relationship over these many years. I think that is something which is, we'll have a lot of things to talk about.
ठीक है, so you start.
Why should I start? I gave the idea. You start.
मैं क्या start करूँ? I think at a younger age.
So when did we meet, Sucho? Give some details, bro. Details.
We met in
when 2000, did we meet? What year did we meet?
2015.
2015. Which month?
September.
Day?
5th.
Okay, cool. Okay, start from there. Very bossy.
See, I think with time ऐसा होता है ना कि there are different problems in life. So I think at that point of time, life का purpose ये था कि girlfriend होना चाहिए.
Your purpose of life.
हाँ, at that point of time.
Did you mention this in your purpose of life?
I don't think I've mentioned. But that was kind of a purpose ना, before you really think about a bigger perspective of life. चाहिए था ना, partner चाहिए था life में. At least that was my thing. Why did you date me?
I had no idea.
Now think, no, that is the whole video about.
Probably I also wanted a partner. I didn't put a lot of thoughts. Did you? I mean, I don't know. At that point of time, I didn't put a lot of thoughts. I thought it was just natural thing to do.
I think.
Get a boyfriend.
Maybe हो सकता है. That is what I was also thinking probably कि चाहिए ना, मतलब that is.
If not now, when?
When?
Okay.
ठीक है. तो But anyway.
So 2015, you were thinking your purpose of life is to get a girlfriend. Then
Purpose of life नहीं बोलूँगा. I think he wanted that or whatever. But once we started dating, I think then there are a lot of things happened. Like if I think about it, uh, we had a lot of good times, and there were a lot of fights also, which used to happen. Right.
Right. And yeah, cool.
And
what was the fights are about? Like, what was it usually you think as of you remember, like in the beginning times of the.
Oh, according to me, the fights were more because of these things, that she was very possessive, super possessive. And I think यही थी problem.
I was possessive.
I think that's all. और भी कुछ
How
याद आ
dare
रहा है
you
क्या?
say that?
और क्या था मुझे? मतलब it's not a problem now, obviously. And she is, I don't know if still is possessive or not, I don't know. But that time it was making me, basically the problem was not being her possessive. The problem was actually that because of that feeling, she was stopping me to do things in life, which made me angry. I think that was the problem of fight. Like if I think about it, like why will I have a problem if you are possessive and feeling that? But at the end, you did not have a trust in me somewhere, right?
Right.
कि भाई ये लड़का मुझे छोड़ के चला जाएगा या फिर दे मेरे को चीट कर लेगा.
He'll cheat on me or something.
Something like that you had in your mind. ना उसी वजह से तुम वो act कर रही थी, right?
Definitely.
And that was bothering me because at the end I'm not feeling free because I feel restrictive na, in a way. So that was like one of the root cause of our fights earlier in life. What do you think? What was our root problem?
Yeah, I think we definitely talked about this, and that was one of the reason. And I think another reason was you didn't know how to be in a relationship. That's the thing.
That is true.
Like you didn't care about me a lot.
I would
That's
say
what at least I felt. I felt that you didn't care about me because it's in the smaller things, right? Like how you introduce to his friends.
So I'll give an example. For example,
let me complete, right? How you introduced me to your friends and how you kind of, took me as well wherever you were going, where you could take me. It was not like you couldn't take me, but you wouldn't even offer to take me, right? So just like those were the things, and that actually creates a lot of, trust issues as well, right? Why wouldn't he kind of take me also? Like, it's okay if he's meeting his friends, and among those friends there are somebody who you had history with. So, but why can't you take me then?
सही बात.
Yeah.
But should we now talk about why we did what we did, or should we just talk with respect to relationship? Because obviously we can go down into that path also, na? What was going on there, right?
I really don't have anything in mind. I mean, we can just speak however it comes to.
Okay. But anyway.
So I think we both have analyzed, what I've meant to say is we both have analyzed and said, like, you have also addressed this issue that, okay, you are being very possessive for no reasons, right? Correct. I have also told you why was I possessive.
So I think one thing which generated over the time is communication.
Correct.
So the communication became very important in a relationship because no one is really doing with the intention of harm to other person, if you think about that.
And I think, yeah, there is no ego, right? So when you kind of, when you also addressed me, when you also kind of confronted me, like, like, you're being possessive and all of that, and, all of that. So I didn't feel, definitely felt bad. And then kind of, I kind of opened up about that to you, that why I was being possessive. Right? Instead of just, kind of, okay, this guy doesn't care about my feelings or whatever. Like, he didn't even care that why I felt that way and stuff. So I opened up about why I was actually feeling it. What were those scenarios where I was not being comfortable, and, it definitely takes time to kind of build trust, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And हाँ, and I think both parties should work towards building trust. है ना? So I think once I told you that, okay, build some trust with me then, है ना? And you also started working towards it, right? तो वही है, communication तो हुआ ही है, like with an open mind. With an open mind, instead of just giving up, we could have given up there at that point, right? Easily. Definitely. I have done that before. So I would have easily given up कि like हाँ भाई हाँ ठीक है, it's okay, whatever. नहीं मुझे नहीं explain करना. हाँ, whatever. Why should I even explain? Why should I change? Why am I? हाँ, I'm this person. Why? So we could have easily given up at that point, for sure. I mean, right? So basically, what this turns out is that you change as a person at the same time in a relationship, but at your own will. That is what you need to understand. Like, at least what we have realized about each other, that the changes which we have done in ourselves is because we wanted to do that for the other person, in a way for the other person, right? For example, if I'm trying to do those small things in life, let's say ki asking you next time you want to go here, I'm planning to go, or introducing you to my friends better, in a better way, that means in a way I want to put that effort, right? That's why I'm doing that. Right? So with that, my characteristics are also changing in a way, right? Of not just thinking about myself, but thinking about you as another person at the same time. So I think relationship mein, I think this is a real part of relationship, I would say. Like, then you are not really alone at the same time. Although you're two different people, but at that same time, you're not alone at the same time. All your actions and decisions are like kind of made for two people with time. If you think about, like, whatever we are doing, even though you do anything alone, you discuss with me first, in a way, like I'm thinking these things and these things. So in a way we synchronized and understand what is really going on, and we are both in the same alignment of doing things, right? So it's like we have like common path at the same time, like समझ ना. So in a relationship मुझे लगता है कि like you change yourself, but at your own will. If you want to. If like, you want that's to. What, right? Like, I think, um, yeah. And obviously there has been time in past that we have not changed in a way. Right. So you choose people for whom you want to put in work. Yes. ये भी होता है. At the end, right? हाँ, obviously. And obviously there is always a limit, right? वही तो everyone will have their own limit at a certain thing, ना कि like this is the amount of change I want to do, or this is not I want to put in. So I think that pretty much worked so far for us. I would say ki like whatever we are changing in ourselves, we wanted, and we are okay with that, and then that change does not really feel change, because that is you automatically. Now you are not adjusting, like the thing of people say that you are adjusting, you don't really think as adjusting, because you are now changed that person to like that only. So that's your normal behavior in life. So you are not a changed person, or so to say, this is what you are as a new person, if you have to put it that way, right? So हाँ, तो again going forward, I think relationship में, I think with over the time, one of the really key things was communication, I think, right? Whenever we used to fight, like, our idea of solving that fight was to really talk, and initially we probably used to say just sorry, sorry, maaf kar do, whatever, give give food to her and get it done. That's the easy way out. But over the years, it's not really solving the problem. That we have realized, right? It's not really solving the problem, right? It's just, you're just procrastinating that for a later time. That's why people bring up 100 things in the life in past ना कि तूने ये बोला था, फिर ये बोला, तूने ऐसा किया. That means there are some unresolved issues, yes. Right? That is all. So, and so if there are issues, resolve it. And that resolving takes a lot of communication and a lot of time talking to each other. Yeah. Because ऐसा भी समझो ना यार, now you guys, like, we have met at the age of 20 something, 25 जो भी है, whatever. So you have lived a age life of like 20 plus years. So that has built certain characteristics and those things.
and it will take a lot of talking with each other to really make the other person understand why that person is this person at this current of time, right? So that will require a lot of communication to really understand the other person's perspective of why that person might have done that or said that or feels that, whatever it is, right? So communication is, I think, a really really big part. I think that's why I think in a traditional world people used to say na, that marrying in the same community is easier probably because if they are marrying in the same community, then that means they have grown up with the similar mindsets. So they will understand each other even better. Right? Compatibility is like defined automatically, right? So if you are marrying in a different culture, so you'll have to work harder because you're grown up in a different way. I have grown up in a very different environment. So that understanding will be hard automatically, right?
Oh, that's cool. I didn't think of this. And I think communication is there. And I think ये भी है कि none of us are, I mean, at least I think like nobody is like perfect, right? Like as in like who doesn't have insecurities? Who is not um, who is always good at treating their girlfriends or boyfriends like special or special way or just the way he or she wants, or like nobody is perfect, right, in relationship.
Perfect relative to the person who wants.
Who?
So, for example, I might think that I am perfect in doing or I'm doing my best, but for your perspective, you might think that the guy is not doing the best. That's what I'm saying. Like it's always from a perspective, na, ki that person is not doing their best or whatever, right? You might say you could have done this, but in my head, I might have been doing 100% of my capabilities. That is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So, but I would have expectation that you should have done that also. Correct. But you didn't do it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what like. हाँ, तो वो एक बार रहता है परफेक्शन का या जो भी है एक्सपेक्टेशन रहता है, वो शायद हमेशा मीट नहीं होता है. Nobody can meet it also because it's in your head. No, the expectation is in your head.
And I think as a human तुम्हारे expectation बढ़ते जाते हैं.
बढ़ते जाते हैं, हाँ.
I think ये problem भी नहीं बोलूँगा. I think that is very normal. But I think once you are aware of these things happening, then I think you understand that, na. Like for example, what are in a current timeline, what are those kind of expectations, for example, जो कि meet नहीं हो पाते हैं?
Currently from you?
हाँ.
Oh my God. Like expectation which doesn't get met. I think I have no expectations of you. Like I was just talking, like when I said this, I was thinking of,
obviously at that point of time the things were there.
I was thinking of our younger selves. That at that time I had this expectation that you have to get me flowers, and you used to not get it because you used to not think about getting flowers, and that is not a concept for you. So, but I used to expect, oh, why are you not getting flowers? I mean, right?
And I used to think this at that point of time, ki what's the point of buying flowers? That's not even being used in all those things. But I really couldn't really think this perspective. She will just feel good. That's all. She will feel loved. That is all that matters, right? It's not about really the productivity or the use of those things at times, right? It's that feeling which you really show to the other person that you care and you're thinking of that person. That is what matters, right?
हाँ, तो वो काफी सारे like used to be in my head, and then at that later part I used to tell you that कि like I am expecting flowers. Can you get me one? Why are you not getting
this is something great, by the way. Again, this is part of communication, right? Instead of she thinking continuously कि भाई this guy is not getting me flowers, she communicated that कि I was expecting things like that.
Yeah, because I realized कि I'm having all this expectation, and this guy is like completely somewhere else. I like this guy. He's very good. He has a good heart. He has a good smile, and he has stolen my heart and everything. But he's not doing certain things which I want.
So basically, what I'm
which
saying,
I want him to do. like some gestures maybe, मतलब
हाँ.
कि करो यार, कोई बात नहीं, कभी कभी chocolate ले आओ, खुश हो जाएगी. Like I can buy it on my own, but still it's like if you get it, then I'll feel good. Like little things like that.
Correct.
So I used to like tell you कि like हाँ get me, like why didn't you get me flowers? I was expecting it, kind of a thing. No way. Yeah.
When did you buy me flower last, Juju?
I got you flowers so many times.
When?
At home. I don't even remember because I got so many times.
She's lying.
No, I got you. I introduced you to flowers.
ये तो सही बात है.
Then?
Introduce करने का मतलब ये थोड़ी नहीं कि you have bought me also.
I've bought you also.
You did not.
I have.
You did not.
I have. You don't remember stuff.
As if you remember.
I take you shopping also. I've took you shopping like so many times. More than times you have taken me.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, it is truth.
I don't even shop, man. How can you say that?
I make you shop.
So you want that.
Because you need it and you don't know.
I need and I don't know. Okay, cool. So where were we?
I don't know. We were everywhere.
हाँ तो I think यही है तो relationship और क्या है?
और कुछ insights दो यार. How do you? I think the general, like I keep seeing certain comments here and there telling about that people often ask us that, oh, do you guys even fight and stuff, looking at our, you know.
I don't think people ask us that now.
Initially,
right? People used to ask us.
Yes, yeah. I think later we I think made it very clear, yes, we do. Yes, we do fight. So I think those questions stopped eventually. But I think those were like, because if you see us like for 15-30 seconds videos that we put up, I think it's very like, at least for younger people, they might just assume that, okay, like this is like the perfect relationship and stuff like that. So it is perfect, but like what I think like as a third person somebody won't see is the effort and work which is put into that relationship. क्या लगता है?
हाँ,
वो दिखेगा नहीं ना.
हाँ, in short what she is saying, that whatever you are seeing in reels or shorts or wherever you are seeing us, those are like very small part of our life now, if you think about it. Like if it's a 15 seconds, so there are 24 hours in a day, and what you're seeing is 15 seconds of that. So yeah, there's a lot in the behind the scenes, what's really happening. And like what I was just talking about, like communication, that is what I'm talking about as work. Work is basically talking, because there will be hard things you have to tell each other, by the way. Yeah. Like which the other person will really not feel good hearing about themselves, because as a person, when you are like living together and staying times with each other, you really pick up some habits and see those things closely about each other person. And when you point out that that person might have not really thought about what that person is really doing, intentionally or unintentionally, right? And those might be not really great things to do for the other person to see that. So those kind of communication also you have to do. You have to do hard communications, like tell those flaws or problems which you really see. Again, those problems are relative. Like if I see that as a problem, then I tell that this is bothering me, this is a trouble for me. Like I don't like this behavior or whatever. Like
then okay, so you are saying if there is any like something which bothers you, you kind of you have to communicate.
Just same way like you were saying na, ki you wanted flowers, see, that is bothering you, like you don't feel loved that way, right? So you communicated that, right? That botherness. Same way, like if any person is doing for that perspective, like for someone that might not be a problem, that's why I say it's relative. For a couple in this world, buying flower might like this bullshit, why do you need to buy
किसी को
flower?
नहीं चाहिए होता है, मेरे को चाहिए था.
Exactly, right? So that is always relative na. Ki like not does not mean ki every couple needs to be like this.
Yeah, definitely.
But the point is कि that you will have to do hard conversation with each other. ये मुझे लगता है. कि like you'll really have to tell each others about the things which might not make you compatible. Like there will be things which are different and there will be things you don't like or you like, but those understanding should be there that why that person is that, because if that you really understood, then you don't see that as a problem, kind of. You're getting what I'm trying to say? So if there's a certain habit of yours which I in general don't like, but if I really understand why you do those things and like I'm really being in your shoes, kind of, to the extent I could understand, then those things will stop bothering me automatically, because I could understand your perspective. I could understand ki, हाँ भाई, that's why this person is really doing. Then it might not bother me because I understand your perspective now. I understand. So that also helps. Like that might not change. Like you might not change. I might not change your behavior, but I might just understand that.
You are just accepting my flaws.
Flaws भी नहीं बोलूँगा मैं. Again, like those are the things people put in words, like because that flaw might not be a flaw for someone else, for example, right? It's just that that is something which might be bothering me, and if I really understand that, either you will also try to change that because you will also think, yeah, this person is not liking this and that's why you don't want to do that, because you at the end care about me, that yeah, I don't want to do these things which will bother him. Or maybe there will be some things which you cannot really want to change that, and I might really put so much trouble because of that, but at the end if I really understand that, then I will not really ask for the change, because now really I get what you are trying to do and why you are that in a way. Getting what I'm saying? So you can say what you're saying in a way, in a simpler way. You can say accept others' flaw. You can say that, but it's not really about the flaw, right? This is what we are, right? It's not flaw, right? Why you call it flaw? That's what I'm saying.
Achha. Accept the way I am.
हाँ और क्या? But when you can really accept that when you really understand the depth of what you have gone through in past, let's say, or your childhood, and why you do certain things like that, right? Then you don't see that as a flaw, right? Getting what I'm saying?
Cool.
What else is relationship?
What do we talk about it? Yeah, I think. What else?
You want to talk about physical? That has also evolved, right, over the years.
Yes. See, I think one thing we kind of like keep maintaining is like even during COVID times and stuff. So we kind of kept that, like, having dinner together, having lunch together, or anything, like any meal together, like to kind of, like those are the small things which we kind of always um, put in na in relationship ki, like भाई साथ में खाना खा लो, खाना खा लो, कुछ gossip करो, like those are little times when you kind of spend time together. Like we spend a lot of time together, but I'm just saying ki, like in general, like when we were not, also when we were in our different jobs separately throughout, like when we had no, like hardly we used to speak to each other like for 9-10 hours a day. So at end of the things, we used to kind of remember this time when we used to have plans like almost every day, or like definitely, like having to make sure that okay, when you come home we'll eat together or something like that. So these are the little things which we used to plan, kind of, to have that time together as much as possible, kind of a thing.
Correct.
Which is I think, which is good, which I think which has helped us in a very मतलब minute way में ही जान लो, but I think it has helped in a way that we are like kind of close to each other more वैसे. And like close to each other say, right? What do you think, like one is like communication, right? But another thing is, like, is there anything else that which you think ki, which has brought us closer to each other over these years?
I think वही in short, अगर if I have to really put, like there are so many small things, like जैसे मैंने 5 things I liked about you जो बोला, right? ऐसे ही बहुत सारी चीज़ें बोल सकता हूँ, like different things I like. Obviously those things have brought us closer because there are things. So I would say like doing things together in a way is definitely brings us together. What I mean to say is that
but it's challenging also,
exactly,
right?
I was going to say that only, because for example when we are creating dance video also, like that will create a lot of conflicts in life, because you are doing things together, you will want it a certain way, I will want to a certain way, then there will be a conflicts and there will be things, but then overcoming that problems will make it automatically stronger, right? The bond, because that at a minor level you understood the problems of each other, right? And that the same thing is applied on a different things. When we are traveling together with group of friends, for example, like there we have fought in almost many trips in the beginning in life, right? But after every fight, understanding each other only made our travel better, if you think about it, right? So doing things together is definitely hard, but if you end up surpassing that problem, it will bring you closer, मुझे ये लगता है. So it's like that, like you do things together, it will create problems, it will make you fight, but if you surpass that, if you don't give up, so that's why probably people also say कि at the end love is don't giving up, क्योंकि problems तो आएंगी ना if you do things like that.
It's, I think no matter how perfect people look from outside, matlab conflicts तो it's normal, no?
Correct.
For me, like now, like earlier I used to feel conflict कि like क्यों हो रहा है, nobody likes conflicts, right? Like and it's your natural way to kind of think कि why am I in this conflictable situation, matlab why am I getting myself into this, so get out of this, like you know. I think a lot of that thoughts come in, like especially I'm just talking about myself, that when you, like it's hard to resolve conflicts, right? Hard to have that hard conversations and come out of those conflicts, right? So instead of that, you just come out like without even saying anything, like without even just like without like it, that is easier.
That's easier,
That's
obviously.
easier,
That's
right?
easier.
Like sit down and resolve the conflicts is tough.
Correct.
It's tough, matlab you have to put a lot of energy into it.
Correct.
And I think it's ultimately choosing with whom you want to put this energy and how much.
And again, I'm not saying it's wrong at the same time.
What is wrong?
Like
not putting those energy. Ultimately that is what ना.
But you need to understand it's your choice at the end.
It's your choice. तो मतलब मेरे को आ रहा था अंदर से कि तेरे साथ conflict resolve करना है, right? है ना? तो किया
लड़ के किया, रो के किया, but किया. Right at the end.
But conflicts नहीं होंगे, I think that is पता नहीं, I don't know, there might be some relationships in this world which might not have any conflicts.
क्यों नहीं यार, possible था ही.
Might have, I'm just like blindly assuming there will be conflicts anyways, but so there might be some relationship which will have like zero conflict, but I have not seen even one abhi tak I have not even seen one relationship which didn't have little bit of मतलब difference of opinion ही बोल दो थोड़ा सा, like you know, something which the other person is doing and this person is not liking. People like वही ना, the level of conflicts are different. And different people's thresholds is different. Like my threshold for certain things is there. Like once some things happen, my threshold is gone. Like you know, I give up at that point of time maybe. So you never know.
Patience तो है नहीं तेरे पे वैसे भी.
तो वही है.
हाँ ठीक है. तो yeah, I think. What else? Do you have anything else? Do you think there is more to talk about relationship? What do you think? If you have to summarize this, let's say, what is love, relationship, and you know, like.
What is your take? As in, like, if I have to summarize our take on relationship and like you know having a good relationship or a longer relation, two people living together for a longer time, I think if you call that relationship. So, I think one is to love should be there. Love is there, and that will of.
So मेरे हिसाब से love again उसको explanation form में अगर मैं डालना होगा कि like love is a feeling or whatever, like if you don't want to go with that definition, if I have to put really in words, and if I want to explain that, at the end मुझे ये लगता है कि that emotional connection
okay,
is very important. Like if that emotional connect is strong, then things really happens and everything's happen great. Even the sex is great because of that, right? Which I have realized over the time that emotional connect जितना अच्छा होता है उतनी चीजें in general.
Yeah, I think that is love then. Like emotional connection अच्छा होता है, तो then you'll have the will to not give up on that person.
And that feeling is great at the same time of have knowing that like this is also a great thing. Now, if you think about it, like if you are living with a person like really 24/7, and if that person really understand you, so think about this now, कि you have a person in your life who is the closest clone of you, if you think about it, because that is the closest person who really can understand you in your darkest times, in your happiest times, in your whatever times, because your emotional connect is great, that the other person really understands you so well. Because there has been so many times in life when we are in a situation and we have talked in eyes, like we are just looking at each other and we just know what we have said, right, of a situation, right? Because we bond on those situations exactly kya hua, and we like getting what I'm trying to say, right? So that is basically understanding of each other's, and you know how we both are working and how, what we are thinking at a certain point of time. We are able to anticipate that also, right, in a way, ki, right, which is basically happening because of emotional connect in a way, ki like you really feel connected emotionally, right? So I think that is what makes things great, I feel. And obviously over the times we are still learning, right? It's been what, 8 years together, roughly 2015 से 2023 8 years हो जाएंगे, right? So obviously I'm sure there will be a lot to learn also for us as well, but at least so far
No, I was counting.
so far मुझे लगता है यही important है, मतलब ऐसा मुझे लगता है.
हाँ, there will be ups and downs, and I think ultimately क्या है, like we both didn't give up on each other, be it anything, like be it any darkest times in both of our life. So because we thought that the person is worth it. Hopefully you thought the same, right?
अभी भी डाउट कर रही है, तुम देख रहे हो ना, दिस इज लव, दिस इज लव, डाउटिंग ऑन योर पार्टनर इज लव.
ऐसा नहीं है, I was saying you also felt it ना, कि I am worth the effort you are giving.
Obviously.
Right. So I think yeah, ultimately that is the thing. And I know कि like give up नहीं करने से क्या मिलता है. Right, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good
ultimately,
feeling.
yeah.
Cool. I think let's end it on a good note. As a high note. ऐसा लगा अभी high note आया था.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.